nobody can adequately say we can pay for. But what we are saying is that we want to say thank you for the commitment that you have shown in the years that we've always been together towards this particular exercise. I'm aware that you have prepared your students well, your pupils well for this exam, and we thank you for that. But before I can make any comments further than that, we are all aware that on Saturday we lost 5 children, 5 candidates in a school in Uasin Arap Moi Primary School. As teachers and as all of us and as parents, I think we would want to take a minute to remember and pray for those children, to remember and pray for the parents, and say that it was an unfortunate incident. It did happen. I'm straight headed to that school this morning from this particular function, but I would want all of us to observe a minute of silence in honor of these children, please. Thank you very much. Otherwise, beyond that, I would want to assure everybody, as already mentioned by the regional commissioner. A commissioner told me this morning that he has scanned around. I know we had some little challenge in Baringo, but he's given us the assurance that the region has been adequately secured and that our children will be able to do the exam without any challenge. I've engaged all the regional directors of education this morning, and they have also given me assurance that we are good. In Wajir, though there was some little rains last night, we are adequately deployed, and we have a number of choppers there. Marsabit also, there was some little rain, but again, we have also deployed 2 helicopters into that region so that we make sure that no child misses an opportunity. The other thing I would want to mention, and I know the Cabinet Secretary did release communication last night, is that we are aware there are some few schools who may not have registered some children. And we know it is a serious offense not to register children for examinations. We have already directed our officers to make sure that this is properly investigated, communicated to us so that the necessary action can be taken against those who may have missed out to register our children. We are all conscious that this is our last Kcpe, and we would not want any child to be disadvantaged. We have therefore directed all our officers in the field to ensure that all children who are expected to do the exam this year do their examinations. We have already made necessary plans to make sure that every child who was expected to do an exam this year do that particular exam this morning. More so our grade 8 kids, because class 8 children, we know this is the last 844 examination and the last Kcpe. And saying that, I would want to thank our teachers again for having guided our children for the last 38 years. This is the 39th examination. 24 million Kenyans have gone through this same examination over the years, which is more than 70% of the adult population. A majority of us here, except maybe myself and the commissioner and a few other people, may have done a different examination. But majority of us have gone through the 844 and the Kcpe. While we were going through to reform our education system, to transit to this competence-based education, we did evaluate the good work that 844 had done, but we realized that we have to be in tandem with the world. The global direction is about critical thinking, it's about collaboration, it's about being able to apply knowledge, it's about building the necessary competencies and skills So that is why we transition, and we are transitioning as a country to the competence-based education, because that is where the future is. It is an age-appropriate education which is applied all over across the world. And therefore we wanted our children and all of us to be able to benefit in what is happening across the world. And that is why we wanted to build on the skills. As we are all aware, this country, our only critical resource is the human capital. We may not be having any other resource as much as we do with the human capital. And therefore, that is why we are trying to transform ourselves. That's why the president appointed the Presidential Working Party, so that it can assist us in ensuring that the implementation of the Kpsea is properly done. And I would want to assure all of us that we are on course. We are working very closely with Parliament to ensure that these recommendations, which will make a huge difference for our people, are implemented. So once again, coming back to the examination, it is always good that we allow our children to be children. Let's give them an opportunity to be who they are. And that is why in the competence-based education, we say we nurture every learner's potential. And every learner, therefore, has their own potential. So as even we start this examination this morning, let's not try to do anything that will disadvantage our children. Our children are prepared for the examination. I know our good teachers, you've done a good job. As a teacher myself, I always say that, God gave us an opportunity to be co-creators of our children, to be co-creators of human beings. Let's co-create them in the right way. Let's not take shortcuts. Let's allow them to be the people that they can be. Let's not do anything that will disadvantage them. Let's not do anything that will make them not to sustain their studies beyond this particular level. Because, if we give them artificial marks by taking shortcuts, then these kids will be exposed when they go to the next level of learning. Just like those of us who come from where we call ourselves County of Champions. In athletics, you can win athletics by taking shortcuts. But when you take shortcuts, you only win once. You cannot repeat it. But when you take the pain of exercising, practicing, and run natural, you'll run for a longer time. Kipchoge always tells us that no human is limited. Our children have the all potential for the people that they can be. So let's give them an opportunity. Let's give them an opportunity to be as natural as they can be as they do their examinations. Our brothers in the fourth estate, for the next 3-4 weeks, it will be a very tough time for us. Let's be partners in this exercise. Where you see anything that you think we need to know, please let us know. We have 2 command centers. We have one at the Ministry of Interior, and we have another one at the Examination Council. Let's get in touch with ourselves. They are our children. They are your siblings. They are your brothers and sisters. Let's be partners on this journey so that we can be able to travel together. But the most important thing I would want to assure the country is that our examinations are secure, and they have always been secure. And that is why the other day when the Parliamentary Committee on Education came out with their report, they were able to affirm that our exams have always been secure. We have had challenges of early exposure, where people would open their paper after they leave the container. We are trying to deal with that this year by making sure that we collect this examination twice for the Kcpe from Monday, so that we can be able to make sure that the integrity of our examination is assured and protected. So once again, our good people, our brothers from the security sector, we say thank you very much, because you are part of this exercise. And you've always been our dedicated team in this particular exercise. Our colleagues from the Ministry of ICT, the Communication Authority, and the rest, we say thank you. And let's avoid the social media that will lead you to say they have examination